Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker, it's good to see you. Listen,
you're a Bitcoin maximalist. You're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find them.
hey everybody, welcome to Rob Nelson Live on the Gokhshtein News Network. I'm Rob Nelson and I'm live. And David Gokhshtein is waiting backstage to join me. So I'm going to just set this up real quick. I'm looking forward to having David on. It's been an exciting week. It's only Wednesday. And we're going to talk a little about Iran. I think David and I are getting closer and closer on this because, I can't take any more of the turnstiles and the spinning windmills and Trump, trumping Obama. David likes to say I'm a white guys for Kamala Harris. I swear to God, I feel like Kamala Harris is cheering what he's doing on. And I know it's not as simple and black and white as that. But when 2 months ago you were saying, and 5 years ago and 6 years ago, Iran can't have ballistic missiles. Iran can't have any sanctions relief until they give us whatever we want. And now he's given them sanctions relief, and all they've done is agree to talk for 60 days and saying, oh, well, it's their money, so guess we got to give it back to them. Oh, well, they deserve ballistic missiles too. I'm sorry. This is all domestic politics. Trump doesn't want to tank the midterms. The polls show that maybe Republicans could pull it off, and he's smart. He doesn't want a forever war. It didn't end the way he wanted. So he's going to make a crappy deal with a terrorist regime. There's unconditional surrender or nothing, I'm with Lincoln, people wanted Lincoln to drop out and stop the war. Let's just let the South be the South. He's like, war to the end. Winston Churchill, Neville Chamberlain was like, make peace with Hitler. Churchill was like, war, victory at all costs. There is no negotiated surrender. We literally dropped bombs on Japan, nuclear bombs on Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Unconditional surrender. You surrender unconditionally to us with no commitments, no restrictions, no nothing. You give us your enriched uranium, you get rid of your ballistic missiles, and we will lift sanctions on your ability to ship your oil. We will lift sanctions on your money. You don't do those, and you open the Strait of Hormuz. You don't do those things, we don't give you anything. We don't give you sanctions relief. We don't let you ship your oil. We don't agree to start talking about how we'll let you have access to your funds until you've given us exactly what we asked for. There's no negotiating. This is an evil terrorist regime that has funded terror all over the world. And by the way, they made Lebanon number 1 point in their, MOU. Lebanon, Hezbollah, how much if you want to do the homework on what Hezbollah has done to America, then they were the bombing of the Marine barracks. You want to look at how many Americans they've killed, how much terror they've caused? Think they're doing that on their own? They are a complete funnel through Iran. And if anybody thinks Iran's going to take this money, and now, the head of the parliament of Iran, the president of Iran is saying, oh, we never agreed that we would let anyone tell us what to do with that money. This is so much circular talk. I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. And meanwhile, Mandami's endorsed 3 candidates. All 3 of them won the primaries. The Socialist Party of America is taking over the Democratic Party. And New York politics is the hotbed of that. The establishment politics is in New York, right? Chuck Schumer, New York, speaker or whatever. He's not speaker, whatever. Hakeem Jeffries, minority leader in the House. New York, AOC, New York. The power in New York on both the extreme socialist wing and the establishment wing is in New York. Dan Goldman just got upset by a Mandami-backed socialist candidate. The socialists are taking over the Democratic Party. This is a change. This is a sea change in what the Democratic Party looks like. And I think on that, David and I can agree. So we're going to start Welcome in. Oh, David, I almost wore blue for you, but instead I went with my traditional black.
Damn,
But you
I
look good
am.
in blue.
Yeah, I'm one sexy motherfucker. I'm looking at myself right now. This is the
Wow.
definition of sex.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow. I'll let the viewers
If nobody's
decide.
gonna
If
say it,
I
I'll
was
say it for
gay, as
myself.
Sean Hannity once said to me, if I was gay, I'd want to sleep with you, Rob. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
there you go.
So I'm
I
not saying that, but you do look good. You do look
thank you.
good.
Appreciate it.
So David, let's start before we go to Iran. Let's start with domestic politics, right? Because I think, I don't want to get in a disagreement about Iran. I think we're closer than we think on this, but I want to start with what's happening. Mandami endorsed 3 candidates, and it was a hat trick. All 3 of them won. To me, again, like I said in my setup here, New York is the kind of the base of sort of both the establishment Democratic Party. The 2 most powerful people in Congress on the Democratic side are from New York. AOC on the socialist-ish side from New York. The establishment, the governor of New York, they're establishment Democrats. Mandami picked 3 people. He's like a Trump. All 3 of them won. They are all socialists. I think this is a huge sea shift in the Democratic Party. I mean, this is not like a random thing. Mandami's becoming the Obama, the Trump. He's the kingmaker. And he put the label on these extreme socialists, and they're winning. And they may be winning only in New York, but I think it's a sea change, like a tidal wave going to go through the Democratic Party. Your thoughts, David?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this subject. You hear me, right? I have a lot of thoughts on this
Yeah, I
subject.
can hear you great.
Um,
But nobody needs to hear you because you're wearing your bright blue shirt. So, they'll be happy.
maybe maybe the women and even the guys are distracted by somebody looking this
David
absolutely.
Gottstein for Congress, New York, as a Republican. Dude,
Listen,
you'd be a good
I was
candidate.
actually I'm not joking around. I was thinking about that, Rob. No.
You'd be a great
No joke.
candidate. You'd
No
be a
joke.
great candidate. You're articulate, you're attractive, you're telegenic, and you know how to manage conversations and not get riled up. And you know how to say cutting. You'd be a great candidate. And you're smart. You'd be awesome. I'd vote for you.
I mean, I sat back and
You're like me 20 years ago, man. You're me 20 years ago.
Probably, just take a DNA
I mean, I was a
test.
better version of you, but you're like a mini me.
Okay, no problem. No problem. No, yesterday I would say it was fascinating to watch, not unexpected. It was fascinating to watch as the Socialist Party is now taking over. Forget about the New York City. This is a virus, and this is bigger than people calling themselves democratic socialists.
Mm-hmm.
This is going. If we don't stop this, this will be 30 times worse than what you see in the UK and London.
Mm-hmm.
America will lose its history. And I said this on my show today. I'm not holding back. You can cancel me. You can do whatever you want. This is how I feel. When people state the obvious in the beginning, they're laughed at, they're mocked. But when it finally gets to that point where that person who was yelling about it 5-6 years beforehand, this is, it's crazy. You just named that guy. What was his name? The councilman?
No, not a councilman. He's a congressman.
What was his name? The
Impeachment
congressman.
guy, Dan Goldman.
That man.
Did I get it right? Dan Goldman? He was the lead impeachment guy against Trump. He's the Republican and congressman from New York. Or Democrat, sorry, Democratic Congress. Dan Goldman.
Think about this.
Dan Goldberg.
All these guys that Hakeem Jeffries is next. All these guys have gone after, Trump and the Republicans and stalled out, shut down governments. For the Democratic Party, they were chanting, "You're next to Hakeem Jeffries."
Yep.
This guy, the Jewish guy, the councilman, the congressman.
No, he's not a councilman. He's a member of Congress.
I'm correcting myself. Congressman. He was he was absolutely ripped apart with anti-Semitic language outside of a bagel store. Like
Yep.
they have, they did something right, Rob. They started with the Jews. And this is not the victim card. But that's what they want to say. They want to say anytime that you say anything about, hey, I feel oppressed, or hey, I feel like an anti-Semitic comment has come my way, it's, oh my God, you're playing victim.
Right.
That's what they have put into motion, is that when Jewish people speak, they're being victims.
Right.
And so nobody's taking the Jewish crowd seriously. And here comes Mandani, who obviously he can smile, so can a snake. Okay, like he can smile all he wants. He does not like Jews. Okay, I don't care what
He doesn't
anybody.
like Jews at all. He doesn't like Jews at all.
That is my personal opinion. Okay.
No,
And
let me interrupt you for a second. David, he is like, I had the former head of the Ku Klux Klan on my talk show on Fox News, and then he was at the time a state senator from Mississippi, and he was like, I have friends who are black and Jewish. Mandami, I'll say Mandami. It's Mamdani. Mamdani probably has friends who are Jews, but he doesn't like Jews overall. Like, yes, you may have some Jewish friends, but you don't really like Jews as a whole, right? So I have a black friend, yes, but fundamentally, do you like black people? No. I think that's what you're saying. He totally doesn't like the Jewish people.
He is the plant. He is the plant that is. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but what he does know. Look, he's charismatic. He smiles a lot. I mean, he doesn't. He just needs to go ahead and put a sentence together to sell you on some bullshit. And right now, the Democratic Party, honestly, they let this in. The Democratic Party's hatred for Trump is going to destroy the current Democratic Party.
Yeah.
That's what I stab back. Forget about all the Jew hate, like that I mentioned, the anti-Semitism. Forget about all that. Because do not think for 1 second this is not going to then go towards Christians and Catholics. I'm waiting for this to happen, the moment to happen.
Well, that's what Hitler did. Started with the Jews, then went for the Christians, then went for the Catholics.
Everybody thinks, oh, this is no. Watch as it starts moving slowly towards Catholics and Christians and whatever other religions are out there. This has been written in 1982. I don't give a shit. I said to Landy, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off, and I am. Rob, the Democrats and Van Jones came out yesterday. A bunch of Democrats came out yesterday. They're like, our party? This is horrific. They said it. CNN said it. Letitia James, the attorney general.
Because Letitia James is the Democratic Party is fracturing. But here's my point. You're saying they're coming apart. I think they're actually being cohesive around what they really represent. They represent.
They came out today and yesterday. James, listen, I disagree.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. But I'm saying
she came out and she said these people do not understand the community within New York City.
But they do. And my point is, I don't think
people that got elected, they are looking to defund the police. They're not pro-Israel. They're not pro-Jew.
No, I agree.
That's why Van Jones and all these people have come out. They're like, even Hakeem Jeffries.
You're describing all. It's funny. You're describing the establishment Democratic Party. Letitia James, Governor Hochul, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. Dan Goldman. They're the establishment Democratic Party. I think the new Democratic Party is super far left. I don't think it's a fracture in the party anymore. I think it is the party. That's good news for Republicans and independents. I think a lot of Democrats are going to become independents, but I think that's the real Democratic Party right now, David. That is the real Democratic Party.
This is great for the Republican Party.
Or for independents.
I'm telling you right now, the one thing that came out of this that is really good is that people, you better wake up and smell the fucking coffee kind of thing. Because now Republicans have a chance to win both the House and the Senate because of this.
Yeah.
This is a very Rob. I'm not being fucking. I'm not trying to be clickbait. I'm not trying to rage bait. I am telling you, this is a very serious moment in American history. This is very, very serious. Socialism and communism does not work. You have people that are escaping countries, fleeing countries, socialist countries, communist countries, because the system does not work. My parents, my grandparents, they fled Eastern Europe. They fled Europe in general to get away from communism and socialism. It does not work. It is nice when they sell it to you in the beginning, but look what he sold you. He told you free buses. There is no free buses. He told you government-owned stores. Guess what the tab is on a government-owned store? $30 million. Guess how much of it costs Aldi to make a store? $1.4 million. And they're cheaper at cheaper prices. This
hold on. You are
never work.
Hold on. You are clickbaiting though, because point would be
I'm not.
You
I'm
are
angry.
sort of. It's okay. My point is, this is the outrage at what they're doing. And what I'm saying is, forget the outrage. This is a democratic system. They didn't get imposed. The voters chose them.
No,
and the voters are hold on. Let me finish the thought.
Rob.
Come on, dude. Let me finish the thought. The voters chose Mandami's 3 choices in the primaries over traditional Democrats. The voters are frustrated. They are unhappy. The fact that socialism doesn't work is irrelevant. People are picking. Hitler's plan didn't work. People went for Hitler because he offered them a solution. People are picking these choices. They're not being imposed. They're not being stuck in there. They don't even have a Trump kingmaker getting behind them. Madami, who's the mayor of New York, is literally anointing these people, and the voters are picking them. So when you say this doesn't work, it may not work, but it is what a significant part of the population is choosing. In highly Democrat states or cities or communities, they are choosing this path. Now, it may not work, but they are. They just voted. They just voted them in the primaries over everybody else.
It's illegal immigration that has caused this fucking problem. Because if you look at the stats, and the stats don't lie, and these stats came from CNN, 62% of immigrants voted for Mandani. Americans didn't vote. 47% voted for Cuomo, not for Mandani. We have a fucking immigration problem. And if we do not stop it, if you guys do not wake up, I get it. Orange man bad. You hate Trump. We understand. We get the point. But you know what? If this doesn't come to a stop, you will not have. We will turn into whatever the UK is. That's where we're going. That's not racist. That's not history. We will lose our history.
Can you play your little horn with the claps?
And that's why I considered this. I sat back yesterday. I was like, you know what? I would fucking run. I would run. I would absolutely would run. This is crazy. Common sense has gone out the window. We have people fighting for people to vote without an ID. They can't pass the state back. This is also on.
I understand.
Hold on. Let me get this out. This is also on the Republican Party. Thune and those bastards in the Senate They could have passed the SAVE Act, which they better pass this shit before the midterms.
Okay.
They could have passed this law.
You're gonna.
They refused to because these motherfuckers are bought. That's the problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the David Goxstein Show, and I'm lucky to be a guest here. Listen, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just being honest, David. Everything you're saying may be true. Did all illegal immigrants elected these people? No, like voters elected them. Voters are. Hold on. There is a problem with illegal immigrants being here and voting. I mean, not that they're all being here. You know my position. I think if you've been here for a long time and built a life and established yourselves, we shouldn't be kicking you out. You belong here. You're part of the community, the fabric. But what Joe Biden did and let in a mass of people and suddenly make them all pseudo citizens, no good. But the reality is, conservatives can scream, yell, just like Democrats do about Trump. It doesn't change the reality. The reality on the ground is, and you've said this, people are dissatisfied. They are frustrated at how much things cost. They are frustrated at their standard of living. They are frustrated that their health insurance is literally more than their rent, that they have to choose between rent or health insurance, that they can't afford anything. They're frustrated and they're looking for an outlet. Sure, somebody comes along and says, hey, it's like the woman who's frustrated and, with her boyfriend, and some guy comes along and is like, hey, I'll take care of everything for you. Well, it's a fantasy. It's not going to really work. But that doesn't mean people didn't choose that fantasy. And the problem with saying Republicans can fix this is the Republican Party can't fix this because the Republican Party is just as dysfunctional, both the traditional Republican Party and the MAGA part, which is why for the first time since I've been aware of politics, so like 40 years, 60% of Americans consider themselves independents. That's the combined amount of both people who think they're Republicans and Democrats.
Did you learn this?
Independents used to be like 20, 25%.
Where'd you get these stats? You got these stats from where? Kamala Harris fucking Zoom.
You know what, David? Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't discredit the number. David, polling is showing that a growing majority of Americans identify as independents because they don't like the extreme left and they don't like the MAGA right. So what's happening is the extremes of both parties are solidifying, and the middle, what I call the common sense 80%, is not attached to the far right MAGA or the far left Dems.
Can I ask you a question, Rob?
And so they identify as independents.
Can I ask you a question about the MAGAs?
Why is that hard for you to accept that people identify as independents?
Can I ask you a question about the MAGA Republicans?
I'm not knocking the MAGA Republicans.
No, but I'm asking you, can I ask you a question about them?
Of course, but I'm not knocking them. You think I'm knocking them? I'm not. I'm just telling you where people's heads are at. This is where MAGA gets abused by whatever, the other side. Do you believe that biological men should be playing in women's sports? It's a simple question. Dude, I'm not going to play this game. Of course not.
Okay. That's one of the things that they stand on. They don't want to see biological men playing in women's sports.
I'm not knocking MAGA Republicans.
Do we want illegal aliens coming into this country? It's a yes or no.
No,
it's a yes or no, Rob.
David, here's my point. Every question you're asking me, most independents would answer the same as me. No, they don't think biological men should play in. Hold on. They don't think biological men should play in women's sports. They don't think illegal immigrants should flood the country. They don't think you should be able to vote without proving you're actually from here. They don't think
what is bad? Hold on. What is bad about the MAGA Republicans then?
David, I never said anything's bad about MAGA. I said
you. I'm not saying you. This is not about Rob saying. I'm saying at the end of the day,
what I'm
about
desperately trying to make you see, I'm trying to make you see is that a majority of the country is moving away from the extremes of either side toward a middle. Now, everything you said.
extreme? That's what I'm asking you. What's
the extreme about MAGA Republicans?
What's
Do you
extreme?
not know the
about
answer to that?
What's extreme?
You don't know the answer. Hold on.
Tell me the answer.
Computer.
Go ahead. Tell me the answer. What are they doing so bad about trying to bring private sector jobs back? Stop having people rely on the government, have people go to work, have biological men playing biological goddamn sports leagues. Okay. What are they trying? What is so bad about that? Is it the way that they go ahead and talk about it? They don't want, they do not believe in pronouns. Like, what's so bad about the MAGA Republicans? Nothing. There's nothing bad. Okay, is everything 100% gravy? No, but for the most part, it's common sense.
I can tell you.
Well, now it's back.
Here's what I can tell you.
That you didn't listen to a word I
said. Okay, so I don't think I'll ever get this point across to anyone who's a MAGA Republican. And I don't have any. You won't even let me answer the question, so I don't know how. Like I say, I can't make a point, and you interrupt me.
Backhanded comment right away saying,
I just let you go on for 3 minutes. I just let you go on for 3 minutes about what's wrong with MAGA Republicans, and I try to answer, and you interrupt me. So you're obviously not interested in an answer, David. You don't want an answer. And you and the MAGA Republicans and you and the extreme left Madami socialists, they don't want anyone to actually answer the question of what's wrong. Neither side, what's wrong is both extremes can't hear from the middle. The middle is begging to be heard. You can't hear. You can't even let me finish a sentence about where the problem is, and neither can AOC. They can't hear. They can't hear you give them a response. So what's happening is a growing number of Americans are isolating from either extreme, not because certain things either extreme says are bad, not because they don't agree with the rights, the MAGA people's view on immigration or on transgender stuff, or that they may not agree to some extent with the far left's view that we should be able to be affordable. Healthcare shouldn't cost more than our rent. It's because neither side can hear a rational response. And that's the problem. When you try to tell a MAGA Republican, a MAGA person, there's something wrong with Donald Trump, they scream and yell and defend him like he's the fucking Jesus God walking. Hold on. When you try to say, when you go the other way, hold on. When you go, hold on. When you Trump, hold on. When you go. Oh, come on, David. He's a megalomaniac.
Tell me what's wrong with him. You don't have an answer. What's wrong with him?
Of course I have an answer.
Tell me.
Okay, where should I start? Putting his name on every single fucking building and property you can get. Selling coins. Hold on. You asked me to tell you, now you listen. Putting his name on coins. Saying that Iran should never have a ballistic missiles, should never get $1. I have so many campaign clips of him over the last 6 years saying Obama was an absolute fucking asinine jerk for letting Iran have $1 fucking before they gave us something, and saying they should never have ballistic missiles, to hearing him last week say, you know what, it's their money technically, and lifting sanctions on them before they've done anything. They need to open the fucking strait and they're lifting sanctions, and saying, oh, well, you know, their neighbors have ballistic missiles, so they should get them too. What is wrong with that? It is the ultimate of hypocrisy. So hold on. You're shaking your head. Right, that's my point. It's like biological women in sports. When you ask the left, what's wrong with having men in women's sports? They shake their head. when you ask the right, what's wrong with Trump saying for years that Iran should never get a single fucking dollar till they give us what we want? They should never have ballistic missiles. To him now saying, technically, it's their money and let's lift some sanctions on them, even though they've done nothing. And they deserve missiles too. What's wrong with that? The same thing that's wrong with the left saying men should play in women's sports. It's like there's no rationality. It's like, how about common sense? Common sense is men shouldn't play in women's sports. Common sense is you can't go from Iran shouldn't have any ballistic missiles and shouldn't get a dollar until they do something to saying it's all good. It's their money. They should have missiles. It's the hypocrisy. That's what's wrong with it. It's wrong on both sides, and it's why more and more people are independents.
You named a few things on Trump, which you should be fact checked on, but since Trump
No, don't even start. I could literally play the clips.
Fact checked on them 100%. Okay, because you're
David,
so
now you're gaslighting. I could play the God. Come on,
crazy.
you've seen the clips. You know what he said.
But like,
you know
so stuck. Hold on. The United States of America has not given a dime to Iran. Okay,
we lifted sanctions on them. We lifted their sanctions to sell oil.
Let's get this right, because that's easy. That's what Democrats do. It's easy. They just throw out words, and then
no, it's not words. We lifted sanctions and they're selling oil. We lifted sanctions and they're selling oil.
Hold on. The Strait is open. Let's make sure
the Strait is not open.
The Strait is open.
The Strait is partially. Oman just opened a pathway. The Strait is only partially open. Hold on, David. I won't let you lie. We lifted sanctions on Iran's ability to sell oil. Those sanctions were in place.
This is what I'm talking about.
We lifted sanctions on Iran's ability to sell oil. You know that's a fact. It's a worldwide fact.
Okay,
they are selling oil right now.
Trump is the only president and the only leader in the world that had the balls to go into Iran and execute an operation to take out nuclear weapons.
I agree.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. And then he lost his balls because he wanted to win the midterms and he couldn't get out of the war.
Well, the fucking game is not even over. We're in the third quarter, and you guys are talking about games.
David, you don't let your opponent get up off the ground and lift sanctions on them when they've done nothing.
Let me ask you a question. You know what the administration is up to? I don't. Do you?
This is the argument that people like you and Landy make all the time. This is the question you're all thinking.
Do you know
this is the thing.
No,
yeah,
hold on.
You know what? I don't. You know what? You know what? You know what? I don't.
Happening in Iran?
You know what, David? I don't. But you know what?
You talk about 2 ears, 1 mouth, but you're not even listening to me.
I don't know what they're doing. Neither do you. Neither does Landy. But your guys,
I don't know what they're doing, but I can sit here and say, I don't think the United States of America, who has the ball in its court, is just saying, you know what? Since we have the ball in the court, we're just going to let this, whatever's left of the body parts of the supreme leader, we're just going to let them have their way. I don't think that's the way.
This isn't complicated, David. This isn't complicated. This is domestic politics.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think that this whole deal came about. Here, I'll tell you what I think. In my personal opinion, what happened here. I've already preached that the war should have been over by the end of this month. I've said that. It's on tape. You can rewind it. I think they're signing this goddamn deal to make it seem like the fucking war is over. Midterms come around. Republicans win the House and Senate. Once that's done, they're back to go ahead and just taking Iran out, because what are you going to do then? Nothing. You don't have midterms to worry about, okay? They go back there and they level the fucking place. They take out the regime and it's done with, okay? I think they are being very strategic here. They took out close to 95% of their goddamn military, took out their assets. They got the country bleeding. I think this is a stall tactic, okay? I think they sign a paper knowing that Israel is not going to let it go down, and I've said this before to you also, but I think in the grand scheme, this is going to set up for a shock and awe type of event, okay, where after the Republicans win the midterms, that they go back there and they replace
All right.
that regime. Landy won't even agree
right.
with this opinion. I
All
know
right,
you
all
won't
right.
agree
So
with
hold
it.
on,
But
hold
that's
on.
what I'm looking at right now.
Hold on. Grab your mic and hold on. So now you're right about one thing, and you're wrong about another. You literally just said you don't know what they're doing, and you proceeded to tell me what you think they're thinking. Which again, no. Let me talk.
You can't do that. You twisted my words. I said I don't know what the plan is, but sitting here, I think this is what they might be thinking.
And all I said was, I don't know what their plan is either, but sitting here, I'm watching what he said on camera and what he's saying on camera now, and they're completely opposite things. You, like the Democrats that you seem to embody, like to pretend.
Okay.
Hold on. You like to pretend, just like they did. Joe Biden's not mentally deficient, and he didn't say that and do this, and Chuck Schumer didn't change his tune. Like to say, no, Trump didn't say they should never have a ballistic missile, and now he's saying they should have ballistic missiles. He didn't say they should never get $1, and now he's saying it's their money. Those are things he said, hold on, and things he's saying. You won't, and this is the problem why people are frustrated with the extremes. You won't acknowledge that he actually lied. And now what you did say that's true is there's a reason he lied. The reason you think he's lying, hold on. The reason you think he's lying, well, it's lie. You can't be, both things can't be true. You can't think they should never have a ballistic missile. Hold on. You can't think they should never have a ballistic missile, and now 6 months later say they should have them because their neighbors have them. You can't say they should never get $1 till they've done something. Hold on. Or no sanction relief, and then give them sanction relief before they've done anything. What you could say, though, is he's lying for a reason, and that's where you're right. And I agree with you. I think that's exactly what's happening. He is trying to get through the midterms, get energy prices down, there's a shot Republicans can win the midterms, and as soon as he's past them, he can bring the hammer back. I think your assessment is right. It would be great if you could go, that's why he's saying two different things, instead of saying he's not saying two different things. Of course he's saying two different things.
No, because you're nitpicking at something that the treasurer
nitpicking at the fact that the president of the United States says completely polarizing opposite things.
I don't want Iran to get a cent, but Trump made a point that Scott said, which was, if we want people to use the American dollar, and I'm talking about countries, hold on, Rob. If we do want the American dollar to continue to be used by countries, they can't be in fear that the United States of America can go ahead and snap of a finger, freeze those assets. That's the truth, though, Rob. Like that. This is not a Democrat. Rob, throw the party affiliation to the side. Do I want Iran to have money? No, hold on.
What if Obama, David, what if Obama had said what you just said in 2015? The reason we're lifting sanctions
You're not listening. You're not letting me end it. You don't even know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. You have to let them operate in U.S. currency. They have to trust it.
Telling you, hold on. This is leading somewhere. They're unfreezing their funds. They're giving back their funds to them within this process. Taxpayers, we're not giving them our money.
I didn't say we're paying.
Hold on. We're not giving. First of all, there are other parties here. Qatar, others.
I never said we're spending $1. Don't gaslight it, David. I never said we're spending $1.
Unlike you, listen. If you feel accused, that's on you. Okay, I'm not. If you feel guilty in some sort of way, it's not me. Okay.
Attacking me doesn't change the truth.
I'm not attacking you.
We are not spending a single. You're getting a lot of words out. We are not spending We are not spending a single US dollar. That is not the point.
We are
Trump did
giving.
not say in 2015, in 2016, in 2020, in 2023, in 2024. He did not say we shouldn't spend our dollars. He said Iran should get no dollars, no sanctions relief, period. I don't care where the money's coming from.
Did
We
I
have the
not have
ability
a
to block that
conversation with
money,
you?
and we
Did I
are
not have a
unblocking it.
conversation with you? Didn't I say the same thing, that we should not be releasing the money or giving them
But we
any
are.
money?
But we
But did
are.
I not? Was I not on your program saying these things? Was I not on my own program saying these things?
You were, and now you're defending why we're
changed
releasing
my
it.
tune. I didn't change my tune. I'm just saying, number
Then
one,
why is it okay that we're suddenly releasing it? They've done you.
taxpayer money is not involved.
I
Number
don't
two,
never said it had to be our money. I
Rob-
don't care whose money it is. We sanctioned them so they couldn't
Can I
get money
finish?
from
Can
anyone.
I finish? Take your TDS pills for a second. For a second.
That sets your. This is you doing. You're literally. You're making my point. This is why the extreme right.
You're deranged right now.
This
You
is
are
why the
absolutely
extreme.
losing
This
your
is
mind.
why the. This is why the.
I can't even finish
This
a
is
fucking
why-
sentence.
This is why the extreme right and the extreme left are
Crazy.
losing their base
Yo, I've
because
never been on a show
because-
where you're invited and you can't finish a sentence.
you both
What kind of
because
podcast
you
is
both
this? Yeah, I'm gonna bring you on. You
Because-
can talk for 3 minutes.
if you want to put in an AI and we can show next week how much you talked
Yeah,
because
can I
both
just
sides.
finish? Can I finish what I wanted
Dude,
to say?
you
or no?
finish a sentence. You finish a lot of sentences. We're 40
can't
minutes in. You're
finish
finishing a lot of
anything.
sentences.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you talk for 5 minutes and I try to make a point
I am
that
not Landy. Okay, I don't talk for 40 minutes
you're
straight.
kind of becoming Landy. You're like baby
no,
Landy.
No.
You're like baby Landy.
I need 5 minutes to go ahead and make my point. That's it. And then you can take the 30 minutes.
You don't get 5 minutes to make your point. How about you make your point in 2 minutes?
And Trump, look what he said. You could say all that shit. Let me get it out.
Oh yeah, who cares what he said? Why hold him accountable? But you wouldn't do that with
on this
Biden.
program, on this very program that I've been on every single Wednesday, you said out of your fucking mouth, Rob, you said Trump ordered the deal. Trump ordered the deal. Trump does this for a living, negotiating. He knows what he's doing. We have to give him some sort of fucking credit and say, you know what? He's playing with these motherfuckers. We have to stop for a second and stop looking at the new. Rob, you know what? I tend to also look at some of this stuff because I've already told you, Rob. I don't agree. I do not want them getting any cent, even if it's their own money. I don't want them to get anything. I want to strangle them. But Trump is playing a game. And you know what? Sometimes we lose sight of that. People say that he's a bad businessman. He's not a bad businessman. He's made a hell of a lot of money. And Daddy didn't help him. That was all Trump. Trump negotiating with the mafia in New York City. We know what Trump is and how he's built. He is playing a game, okay? This is a game that goes above everybody's heads, including mine at times. Because you're like, what is he doing?
Wow,
What
now
the
he's playing
fuck are you
3D chess.
doing? Sometimes hey, hold on, Rob. Sometimes I react.
Water? You want to calm down?
What are you doing? What the fuck is this? Why are we negotiating with terrorists, Rob? You've heard me say this before, but he's playing a fucking game.
So here's my question. Are you able to actually hear something I say instead of being defensive?
You see, here's the difference
No. The question. Hold on. It's a yes or no question.
I listen.
2
ears, one mouth. And I react only after I listen and give it some thought.
It doesn't seem like it because I asked if you could hear something. You stopped before I could say it.
You know
So,
what?
can
Go
you
ahead.
hear this?
Rob, it's your show. I'm only here for 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Can you hear? Can you listen for a minute before you go off to drink your water, calm down, pour some on your head? So I don't disagree with you at all. I actually agree with you. He is playing a game. I don't think
why
he's
are we
stupid.
arguing?
Oh,
Why are
hold
we
on.
arguing?
Why you gotta interrupt me? You just said you'd let me say
Just
something. I
like
got
you did
7
to me.
seconds out. You
Just like
interrupted.
you did to me
David,
multiple
I
times
got
today
7
when I was making
seconds
a
on my
point.
own. How about you shut the fuck up and let me talk on my own show and make the point?
All right, go ahead.
I agree with you. So pat yourself on the back. He is playing a game and he does know what he's doing and he's not stupid and he is the master at making deals. That is not my problem. My problem and my point was well, you're covering your face. I literally just acknowledged all your points and you're covering your face and shaking your head before I say the problem I have. Wow. I just agreed with you and you're shaking your head.
But there's
My
a but.
problem is
There's always a but
there
with
is
you.
a but. Because the but was what I started with. The reason why he's losing support from the middle is because people like you on the far right can't acknowledge. Hold on.
I'm in the far right.
Wow, look at you. Look at you being quiet for all of 20 seconds before you interrupt. People like
I'm not
you
gonna let you
can't.
tell people that I'm on the far right.
People like you can't acknowledge that even though I just said you're right, that is what he's doing, that therefore to do that, he is saying two different things at two different times. And instead of saying, which is what I would say, Trump is saying one thing before, another thing now, because he's doing exactly what you're saying. Hold on. He's saying no ballistic missiles, no sanction relief. Now he's like, sanction relief, ballistic missiles. Not because he suddenly changed his mind, because he realizes he needs to negotiate a deal so he can win the midterms and come back and clobber them. That makes sense. You won't admit that he lied. You're like, he didn't lie, saying the same thing. Instead of going, he lied. He said one thing, he changed it for a reason. And that reason might be valid. If you guys could admit that, the independents would buy it. You pretend he didn't change his view. He didn't say anything different. Of course he did, for a reason. He's trying to strategically outplay them. And to do that, he has to change what he said. He can't say both things together. You're pretending and he's shaking your head. No, he didn't say anything different. And that's where you lose the middle.
No,
the facts are in the numbers. He's
You see,
losing the middle. He's losing the middle.
you missed the point completely. You call me a radical right winger and shit, which I'm not.
I didn't call you radical.
I'm actually more close. Even though I am a Republican, I do support MAGA. I'm probably closer to being an independent than anything else. Okay, that's number
You're
one.
not an independent.
You
You're
don't
not
know.
an
How are you
independent.
telling me what I am? That's like me telling you that you're a fucking libertarian.
I am a libertarian.
You don't sound like one.
Of course I do.
You don't.
Roger Ailes, who was uber conservative, called me a liberal libertarian to the New York
I don't know
Times.
what
I'm a
happened to you
libertarian.
because now you're a goddamn fucking Kamala Harris bitch.
Oh, dear God. The name calling won't make it true, my friend. The name calling won't make it true.
You told me to shut the fuck up.
I didn't call you names.
You did. You literally called me.
I call you names. I told you shut up.
You know how disrespectful it is to call me a far righter? Like what the hell?
I didn't call you far right. I said you're on the right.
No, you didn't.
You're on the right.
Okay, listen. I apologize, Rob, because obviously, being that you're heavily medicated, you don't understand what the fuck I'm saying here. Okay. Trump is using social media and media to his advantage. That's how I feel. You can say that he's lying. I don't believe he's lying. He's always gone back and forth. Back and forth. He's not going to tell the enemy, especially Iran, what the fuck he's about to do, Rob. Like that would be the dumbest thing in the world. I would think he was dumb if he would come out to the press and say exactly what he's doing, Rob. You know that. Come on, Rob.
Circle back. All right, circle back, Kosaki and Binder.
Rob. You know, can I say what this really disappoints me, Rob? You've been in politics. You've been in politics. I think you're a fantastic guy. Okay, I say this even on my program when I give you shit. I think you're a fantastic fucking host, fantastic reporter. Like you break shit down. I might not agree with everything, but you do a great job. You've been in politics for a really fucking long time. You worked at Fox. You know the game. And we sit here right now and we're playing semantics. You know who Trump is. You know who Trump is. Trump's
So
really a
why?
fucking Democrat. Trump is really a Democrat. And
I
by the way,
agree. I
if we look
agree.
at Bill Clinton, if we look at Bill Clinton right now, by today's terms, he would be a fucking Republican.
Donald Trump and Bill Clinton are pretty much the same.
And you've been with these people. You know who these people are.
I'm
That's
telling
why
you.
it
I'm
blows me
telling
away.
you.
What are we talking
Dude,
about?
all right, stop your social media clip. I'm telling you, you're right. Clinton and Trump politically are pretty much the same. Clinton today is kind of like Trump. Like Trump today is like Clinton then. They're pretty similar. Their politics, their positions. If you aligned Clinton of 1995 up with Donald Trump of 2025, they'd be pretty similar on almost everything. They're
So then-
not very far apart.
So
I
then
agree
you
with
can
you.
see
They're
everything
pretty
that we
similar.
started off with today.
And I worked with Clinton.
That's what I'm saying. You know this. You know how the game is played.
I
just being
agree,
played at
and
a
I
different level.
my
It's played at-
my point my
Did you
point
see
was we
Rubio-
live.
Did you see Marco Rubio's face when he was at that press conference? Did you see Rubio's face?
Yeah,
Now people will say that Rubio was just like he was tired. No, Rubio was pissed off. He wasn't tired. Rubio was pissed off because he had to listen to us say that we're coming to a deal with a goddamn terrorist regime. That's why Rubio was pissed off. But it's a game. It's a game.
I think you're missing my larger point, man, which is I don't disagree with you about where Trump's politics are. I don't disagree with you about what he's trying to do. What I was trying to say, if you, I just let you talk. Can I talk on my own show? What I was trying to say is by saying two different things, granted, he has a reason to do that. And granted, I'll agree with you, he's probably really more a Democrat than a Republican underneath. But when his supporters, just like Biden's supporters, pretended Biden wasn't cognitively deficient, Binder, circle back, Psaki, when people on the right say, Trump didn't say two different things, how about you just go, he did. He said they can never have sanction relief, and now he's saying they can. Why? Because he's playing a political game.
Said that.
No, you said you're pretending
that.
it didn't really say anything different.
No,
Acknowledge
I'm
he
saying
just
that he's playing, he's toying. He knows that the media hangs on every word. He is playing psychological warfare because that's what he does for a living. He's negotiating, but yet here he's negotiating through the media. Like that's what I believe. If you're going to ask me, Dave, has he said two different things? Yes, I don't disagree. I don't have brain damage, okay? And I don't drink the Kool-Aid and goggle, okay?
I don't know about the second part.
Yeah, the second part, like I don't
You
goggle
might be
bull.
drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit.
I am not drinking the MAGA Kool-Aid, man. I love MAGA.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, but there's a way, like if we believe that he is a master negotiator, then we have to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he is negotiating with Israel, he is negotiating with the Gulf states, he is negotiating with Iran, and he is definitely using social media and the mainstream media as a way to go ahead and fuck around with them and get shit done. Like I really sat back and thought about that.
I'm going to agree with you to a degree, but I'm also going to say, and this is where I think I'm frustrated and struggling with your position. He's also trying to win the midterms, and he's willing to throw a lot of people under the bus. It is not okay in my mind that they put Lebanon in the first paragraph of the MOU so that Hezbollah can keep attacking Israel, and when Israel responds, Iran can go, see, they violated it. And Trump, hold on. The
United States can't really restrict Israel from doing anything.
God, you will not. I just let you go on for like 3 full minutes, and I say 20 seconds, you interrupt me. Trump should not be admonishing Israel for retaliating in Lebanon. Now, I'm not defending Israel completely, but if I'm Israel and I've got a terrorist regime funded by a terrorist government in a terrorist state, that literally wants my people dead, I'm going to give you a little pass to be like, we're going to overreach to make sure. Now, of course, Netanyahu's a wartime president. He needs to have war to stay in power. But if I'm Israel, I'm not going to walk out of Lebanon right now and let Iran have Hezbollah come after our people.
It doesn't
I'm not
matter
gonna
because
do
the
it.
United States can't tell Israel what to do. Like they can suggest, hey, this can end all this stuff, but Israel is going to do what Israel feels best in their interest. The United States can stop selling them weapons. You know
Look,
that can happen also.
fundamentally, look,
By
David,
the way,
fundamentally,
the money. I
look,
wanted to
look,
say this because we got into the heated discussion. The money that's being released that you keep talking about. Hold on. Let me say it. The money that's being released is really smart. It's going. The United States will have full control, and they will buy U.S. goods with Iran's frozen money and give
yeah,
it to them. So that's
yeah. Right.
smart.
And,
Okay,
and yes, hold on. Yes, it's smart. And what has Iran said? Iran has said absolutely not.
that's
Iran has
on
said
them.
very clearly, Iran has said very clearly, we will not make any deal with the US. This came from their top negotiator. We will make no deal with the US where they give us money and they control it. It's our money. You give it to us without controls. Now, I will agree with you. Technically, we might be able to say, no, we only give it to you and we control it. But they're saying, if you give it to us and control it, then we have no deal. So again, there's no unconditional surrender. Iran's not on their knees. They're going, you give us our money without conditions. We're giving it to you with conditions. They're going, there's no deal there. There's no deal here. There's no deal happening. And fundamentally, David, for me, the real point of all this is making a deal with Iran where they promise to do A, B, C, D, and E is a joke. They won't fulfill any of their promises.
I
They
told
don't
you what I
intend to
think.
fulfill them.
I
Hold
told you what
on.
I
They don't
think.
even want to fulfill them. They
I
don't
told
actually
you.
want peace.
I told you what I think
You
already.
disagree? You think they want peace?
No,
You
I
think they want to
said
do this?
I think there are a lot of options here. Israel takes them out because Israel's not going to allow a deal. Back channel talk. Hey, Israel, listen, this deal is just for us to go ahead and have us win back the House and Senate midterms. A lot of things
That's
are
possible.
said that we're
That
not
is
privy to.
that is possible. You might be right about that. This
So
might
they
be
have
just
to.
a way to get through the midterms.
So we have to go ahead and you're missing Trump speaking. Well, what is Trump speaking about? Trump speaking right now?
I don't know. He's speaking all the time.
I don't know what he's
He's
speaking
always
about.
speaking. Trump kicks off America's 250th celebration. Whatever.
I don't care. Okay, God
You
bless
can
America.
catch it in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, we'll be done. You can catch it in 2 minutes, everybody.
Uh,
No, David,
we
I
have
agree
to
with
give
you.
the administration. I would
Can you
believe
take an
that we.
agreement? Can you
Yeah, yeah. I'm
can
just
I
saying
can I
we should look at the situation, Rob. And look, we're very passionate. That's why you had what you had today. We're passionate. I understand how you feel. You want to take them the fuck out. I do too. They're going about it differently. The only reason why I hold back is that number one, do I want to be in Iran? No. No other nation has stepped up to try to take out their nuclear weapons. They thought it was good.
I know.
That Iran would
But
build
David,
out nuclear
David, we have 2
capabilities.
minutes. We have 2 minutes. And
Okay,
I
go
want to
ahead.
say this. No other nation has done it. No other president has done it. I will make this really simple. You don't stop once they're near defeat. Hitler would have won World War II had he not stopped his Goebbels and his other generals from going farther.
Yeah, but they were tired.
Hold on. The South would have won the Civil War had they not stopped before they got to Washington. You've got to go for unconditional surrender. So we did it, and I give Trump credit. No other president had the guts to do it. He stopped. I get why he stopped. No other president after Trump will do it again. Iran will put its roots back down. This horrible, evil terrorist regime will hang on. It may take them 10 years, 15 years. They'll rebuild their nuclear infrastructure. They'll rebuild their ballistic capabilities, which are still pretty strong, and they will wreak terror across the world. and future U.S. presidents will not use military force, Democrats or Republicans. So Iran, like a fucking cockroach, will survive and become like a prehistoric dinosaur cockroach. And that's what bothers me. I do give Trump credit for doing what no other president did.
I think
but he
that
stopped.
I think we're gonna be proud of Trump if my theory is right.
Wish you were right. It's a
We
good
shall see if I'm
conversation.
right or wrong. History shall see.
And Bitcoin's gonna, drop to 50,000 before it goes to 120, which probably is true.
Which is fine. Cheaper price is better.
That's right. All right, David, I appreciate you in your red, white, and blue, your baby blues. And I'm gonna see you on Friday with Landy.
Yeah, where you
I'm
and
gonna
Andy
stop
will take up.
arguing about this stuff.
Well, you guys
I'm
will
just gonna
take up most of the time, and I will have a minute to speak. Yes.
Listen, I appreciate you. They're fun conversations.
Much
I
respect,
respect your
Rob.
opinion.
I just say, you know what it is? Very passionate, and I just know you've been in the game for so long. I think this is the first time we have a president. Not think, but I know this is the first time we have a president that's not a politician, and he does things differently. Nobody tells him what the fuck to do. He changes. I want to say he changes his mind, but he will tell you what he's feeling in that very moment. So, it's kind of like sometimes we got to sit back and realize this is not Obama. This is not Bush. This is not Clinton. This is not Reagan. Okay. This is something we've never had before. And he's using social media to his benefit along with mainstream media. That's it. That's how I feel.
Look, the show's coming to an end. I disagree. He is unique, and there's no one like him. He is a politician, and that's where you and I disagree. I think he's a genius politician. He pretends
He's
not to be.
Politician that I'm.
He is
quoting.
unlike any other president we've ever had, except maybe Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, which is not to say he's Lincoln or Washington, which he likes to think he is. But Washington was not a politician president. Lincoln was not a politician president. But they both knew how to play politics. Trump isn't a classic politician, but he plays politics better than anybody. That's all time we got, man. We can pick it up on Friday. I look forward to it. I'll see you
Thank you
then.
for bringing me on my show.
Appreciate you.
Take your medicine.
Well, thank you for bringing on your show. Wow, it's now the David.
Thank you for
Goxie
bringing me
show.
on your show. I said.
I'm just kidding, man.
You don't
Chill out.
You don't hear things anymore. I said
Take your orange watch. Take your orange watch and your Gatorade microphone. I appreciate you, David.
Thank you for bringing me on your show. I don't know what the fuck I said.
I love having you on. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Tune in to me and David every Wednesday for fun and games. All right. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know what fun and games he's talking about.
See y'all.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker, it's good to see you. Listen,
If you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
hey, I don't have all the answers, but together.